This is PC747 with the Next Up YouTube channel. So real quick, I want to use this YouTube to kind of talk about, I've been on both sides of being on lockdown, and I'm currently in Georgia where they open back up. So I want to talk about that. Now, this is not meant to be like a political debate or my thoughts on one way or another. I'm just telling you my own personal experience with both, and I'm going to leave it at that. So look, we all been on lockdown, shutdown for some of us almost a month now, dealing with the COVID-19. And we understand for a number of us the reason why. It's kind of started spreading like wildfire, especially in some areas like New York and New Jersey. There have been a number of deaths because of it. And we get it, a lot of us have been trying to do our part, hashtag stay home or stay in, because again, we've been trying to help with the spread, as a lot of hospitals have been overrun trying to deal with this COVID-19 and trying to concentrate all their resources on helping those who've been infected. And there have been a lot of people out there, the doctors, the nurses, and who've been very instrumental and been heroic through this period. And I'm not trying to overlook that whatsoever. We are grateful to those who stepped up and have been a big help for this. Now, we've seen a number of things that come from this COVID-19. Personally, I think one of the good things that happened because of us being on shutdown or lockdown, and we've seen some innovation, some changes that we needed to see, happen. We've seen an uptick in technology in some areas that we've been asking for a while. I know me personally, and I've spoken on this before at work, that I've been asking for us to have certain areas that we wanted change that would have made our lives easier as far as what we do. And now we're seeing that because, IT personnel had to step this up to make things in a way so that you can work from a distance or work from remotely. And that has benefited the employees. Outside of work, the NFL draft, I think it actually ended up going faster and being better because it was, everyone had to do it remotely. So it's like, all right, let's get to it. Let's move on. They was able to get to the first round much quicker. So, this is one area I'm like, all right, this may be a good idea to either, I ain't gonna say keep this whole ordeal, but maybe, implement that in future drafts, even when we're beyond the COVID-19 era. But one thing that we have to talk about is just kind of the whole lockdown, as there have been a number of states, counties, and all over who've been on that. Now, personally, because of my job, I'm had to travel through that period. Now, I actually spent the first month in Houston, and now I'm basically on like a rotating schedule where I travel back to Houston and back to my current state in Atlanta. So it's been much easier for me to handle the whole lockdown thing, because even though we're on lockdown, to be able to get out had been a change of scenery. So even going to the airport, flying out, and then when I'm actually in Houston, they on lockdown, work, hotel, and once or twice a week to Walmart, that provided enough of a scenery change for me where I didn't feel like I was like cooped in. I was able to get fresh air, a change of scenery. So it made it much easier for me to deal with it. It wasn't like I was stuck in a house looking at the same wall, same TV for days on end, hours and hours and hours. I had a change of scenery. I was able to, again, flying somewhere gave me a sense of I'm doing something. So it made it much easier for me to deal with it. Now, I'm not going to beaches, or I'm not going out to the gym or anything like that. Again, it's my hotel room and then to work. But even just that commute, it still gave me some sense of a scenery. Now, even when we were on lockdown, I did notice, like, especially when I went to Walmart, there were people who were not practicing social distancing or wearing a mask. In that aspect for myself, I did what I could to, even if they weren't practicing social distancing, to try to distance myself from them. If that meant that if a person came close to me and was in that landscape, that meant I had to move a little further to, even though they wasn't practicing, to kind of be mindful of them, to give them space regardless. That meant I had to be more patient with other people, even though they may not be looking to practice it. I'm going to do my part to be patient, to try to do what I can to to help with this whole try to keep the distancing and keeping our space to kind of help with the spread of the virus. Now, being in Georgia and we're open back up, I would say this, for a lot of people that you heard them complain about, oh, Georgia, you shouldn't open this up. You shouldn't open the gym up. You shouldn't open that up. And I understand that. I'm not even looking to debate that. I'm going to talk about, again, my personal experience. So being out and about, again, I just got back to Georgia. I was trying to go to a grocery store, and I know the first place I went was Walmart, and Walmart was packed. It's like, even with the lines and everything, and I personally said, I'm not going to Walmart. And I drove into the parking lot, looked at how many people was there, and then just how congested the traffic was. I'm like, man, you could tell people like was cooped in, could not wait to get out. And that's what it looked like. Everybody was trying to get out, and they couldn't wait to just enjoy being out. So the roads were just congested, which you can expect that on a Saturday. So I ended up going to another place. I ended up going to Publix. It was not as congested. I was able to get in, get out, get what I need to get. And even there, you still had, those that practice social distancing, that had their mask on. And then you even had some people who just didn't care about social distancing. I mean, I even saw one person, despite the other person doing everything they can, they're like, all right, give me my space. No mask on, didn't care, just all up in the other person's space. And I'm like, come on. So you do have people who just are not mindful or who do not care about what's going on. And the only thing you can do with them, again, is just try to just keep your space from them and continue on. Now, as far as the whole gyms thing, I understand why they were concerned about not opening gyms, but I'm going to be honest with you. That's one of the things that I was excited and glad that was open back up. Now, again, I am going to be mindful of the gym because the gym I go to is a 24-hour gym. So right now, I'm not going to the gym or during the peak time because there's too many people there. And plus, the gym I'm going to, they're actually being smart about it. They're counting the number of people that can come in and out and so on. But I'm like, okay, I'm not going to want to be at the gym during that time anyway, because for me, if you go to the gym when it's busy, you're not going to be able to get equipment. You're not going to be able to get the workout you want. So I personally prefer to go during less busy hours. Like I normally like to go around 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock in the morning when there's not a lot of people there. So even when we are, or when I was going to the gym before this COVID-19, and there are like 2 or 3 people there, we was already practicing social distance anyway, because if someone was already on a bench press or a squat rack, I'm going to another bench press machine or a squat rack or somewhere else. So people were I was already practicing anyway. The other thing, wiping stuff down, look, I was already doing that anyway. I'll wipe stuff down before I use it and definitely after it. That's what you're supposed to do. So I personally am not concerned about, that. And the reason why I personally am glad that gyms are open back up, because I'm someone that I know, people say, hey, you can work out indoors. I just can't. I can't work out at the house. Too many distractions. And even if I do say, okay, I'm turning the TV off, I'm going to make myself work out. It's just something about me being at the gym. I'm able to do a better job or provide a better effort there than when I'm at the house. I don't know why. I guess it's more mental. I guess when I'm at the gym, I'm focused. My mind is there. I know I'm there to work out, and I give a better. I have better intensity there. I give a better performance there, and I get an overall better workout. So personally, that's one of the things I'm like. I am so glad that the gym is open back up, and for me, it's like it gives me like a sense of normalcy that like we are getting back out. We are getting to get back to some type of normalcy that. We're getting beyond this, and we're not just stuck just thinking about the death count and the virus count and looking at that day in and day out. It gives me some sense of I don't know, like relief, like some sense of hope, and it make it much easier to deal with this. So personally, I understand what people are saying. Look, shut all this down. You don't need this. You don't need that. And I get it. And I'm not even here to argue with you. I'm just saying for me personally, I understand practicing social distancing. I'm going to do that. I understand protecting not just myself, but protecting my fellow citizen from even me who may have the virus by wearing a mask and doing what I need to do. I get that as well. And I'm doing that, because in Houston right now, when I go back about 8 days, they have a fine right now of $1,000 for not wearing a mask. But I'm not worried about that fine because I always keep a mask around my neck anyway. And anytime I go into a store and I'm around someone, I mean to slip it on. It don't take long to slip that around my nose and mouth. And then when I'm in my car or walking away, let's say just walking period or away from anyone, I pull my mask down. It's easy. It takes all of 2 seconds, and I'm not going to fight that. I'm not going to make a big deal of it. As I said, 6 feet distance, not hard. Give people their space. I get that. I have no problem with that. But at the same time, I'm just personally, I'm glad that I do have the ability to be able to go to the gym and work out. I do enjoy being able to go outside and have some fresh air because it makes it much easier to deal with this. And for those that are dealing with COVID-19, I understand the concerns and, people trying to recover and everybody just want to do their part. And I'm the same way. I want to do my part to help out my fellow citizens and help out, make sure we're staying healthy. We're making sure we're not spreading the virus any more than we need to. But at the same time, I think if for me personally, if I'm stuck in the house, if I have nothing to do but look at the same walls, the same TV, it would get me down. It would be depressing. So the fact that thankfully, my current situation allowed me to get out, to be able to travel for work and be able to now in Georgia be able to go out and go to the gym, I feel like, man, it's like a big weight off my shoulder, make it easier to kind of, look forward to, okay, I got something to look forward to. I feel like there's something that's going to be back to normal, and I just enjoy that. And yeah, as someone who's a big, tech fan who just is mainly meant to talk about tech, I'm kind of getting away from that for a second. Just to be real, to talk about some real life situations. And, I'm kind of curious your thoughts, man. For you who are in a shutdown state, are you looking forward to opening back up? What are your concerns you have? And just kind of leave your comments below. But that's all I got. This is PC747 with the Next Up YouTube. I'm out.